hope that's straight. Happy new moon collective. Welcome to your chakra tune in reading. Hi, Aurora. Thank you so much for being here, love. I appreciate all of your time and for connecting here and always showing up for these readings. I truly appreciate you. Let us see. Okay, I already had these splayed out. I hope that this new moon energy has found you all well, all right, is treating you well. I'm excited to see what's going on for this new astrological year, okay, as we are all being reborn under this energy. I pray that whatever rebirth energy you might be going through, whatever transits, whatever new directions you might be finding in life, or new inspiration you might be finding in life, or whatever you feel like is shedding from you, I pray that that process is so beautiful and so fulfilling and grounding and exciting for you all, okay? Because that's what it truly feels like. I'm getting a lot of warmth on my back right now and kind of opposite my solar plexus. So it does feel like there is this renewal of fire, this renewal of spirit, this renewal of energy, vitality. A lot of you guys might find yourselves on new paths, inspired to be on new paths, feeling pulled or guided towards new things that are going to help support you through this rebirth energy. All right, so we are just channeling right away. For those of you that might be new here, my name is Gabrielle, and you are tuned in here to Cusp of Roses. I thank you so much for joining me for this live tarot reading, okay? For those of you that will not watch this live, thank you for being here and tuning in whenever you do. This is a timeless, okay, Pisces, Aries, new moon energy reading. So although this is for the current moment, which is what, March 20th, 21st, energy. I believe the new moon peaks tomorrow, but I kind of wanted to get this in a little earlier for some reason. Usually I like to do it right at the peak energy, but something called me to do this a day earlier, so that's why we're here. But this can find you and connect with you whenever it crosses your path, okay? So make sure you are always following your own intuition and your own inner guidance when it comes to the readings here on my channel, okay? Whatever might call out to you might have a message there for you, regardless of the zodiac signs, the cusp energy, the timing, all right? But welcome here. I'm grateful to have you. So how this will work is I'm going to continue to do a little bit of channeling here under this new moon energy, and we are going to see what's important for us to know and be aware of as far as how this new moon energy, this new cycle, this new astrological year that's being kicked off with this new moon is truly activating our energy centers, connecting our energy centers, healing or balancing, whatever spirit really wants us to know, okay, is what we're going to pull here. I will do that through the 7 energy oracle, okay? I will then clarify the cards that come out of this oracle deck with the Crow Tarot. Then we will end on a moon mantra that might have 2 to 3 mantras that might be important for us all to repeat to ourselves, repeat out loud, write down, okay, in order to guide us and navigate all of this beautiful new moon rebirthing energy, okay? Hi, Angela. Thanks for being here, love. Happy new moon to you. Okay, I'm going to get your incense lit here. Hold on one second. I have my candle burning, which I actually haven't felt guided to burn that in a while. So there's this kind of this energy, this repetitive symbol of burning away the old to make room for the new, right? We've been going through that for a while now here, and I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is that bridge. This is that moment of truth. Ooh, hold on. Let me get this in my incense holder. Ooh, there we go. All right. This is really that moment of transition, okay? For a lot of you guys. Ooh. Excuse the ashes everywhere. That was a fat one. Fat little incense right there. Okay. So what else? What else do we need to know about this new moon energy here before we get started? Now, some of you guys might look at the Aries Taurus new moon that will happen in April as the beginning of the astrological year. I kind of feel it's transitioning now, okay? So flow with whatever feels right and best for you, okay? Remember, this is general energy and timeless, so only take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't, all right? It might not be for you in this moment. Well, what else? What else am I feeling here for this Pisces Aries new moon? What do we need to know? Yeah, so healing is the thing that came to my mind. And again, as soon as I said healing, solar plexus just lit up. So where some of you guys maybe felt really drained, really exhausted, maybe even a little bit lost when it comes to your direction in life and where you're going, or just feeling as if you're lacking motivation and maybe even a little bit of discipline. Maybe even Saturn making that transit into Aquarius Piscean energy is helping this a little bit, but it does feel like there is this sense of thawing. I don't know how else to say that. Maybe it's inspired by the spring equinox, right? We're all thawing from winter now. Whatever was icy, whatever was dormant, whatever was frozen over will now begin to move, right? And kind of burn out a little bit. Maybe that's what the feeling has been. Maybe you guys have been feeling burnt out for a while, right? Like, I don't really feel motivated to do anything that I used to love to do. Like, maybe you feel like you lost touch a little bit with your passions in life. But I think that's all about to change for all of us here, okay? Which I'm super excited about. And I do feel like this kind of anticipation. I'm seeing like the 3 of Wands with this new moon. It's like, it's almost there. I can see the ship coming in. I can see it. I can feel it. I can smell it. I can almost taste it, right? Yeah, it's headed your way, guys. There's a lot of beautiful things I feel like that are coming through this next astrological year that I'm excited to tap into with you guys. Yeah, I just kind of get this right place, right time is what I just heard. Right place, right time. Where maybe it's always felt like right place, wrong time, wrong place, right time, right? Like it feels like right place. You're in the right place at the right time, finally. And when I say place, that can mean different things for you all, okay? Maybe that is like a physical, geographical place. Maybe this is like a mental place, right? A heart place. Like your heart's finally in the right energy. Your mind's finally in the right energy. Your third eye might be finally aligning. Your crown might be finally open. It's just like the right alignment for the right things to happen. I can't get off of this right things happening, righting wrongs, right? We were picking up on balancing out, right? And I think it was Aurora too that shared, right? That spiritual justice is here for a lot. And that cannot be more true, especially on a more world stage. Yeah. I just heard the beginning of the end. Well, that's a little morbid, but maybe not. Maybe that's like, I'm seeing death card. Maybe it's an end that needs to happen, right? The beginning of that decline, the beginning of the crumble, the beginning of, again, that transformation and that transition. Kind of like, you know, we've been talking about this age of Aquarius. I'm sure you guys have heard that a few times if you're kind of in tarot world or astrology land here on YouTube. I really do feel like this new moon is anchoring in that age of Aquarius just like a little bit further, right? Like if we imagine planting the seed, it's like pushing it a little bit more down and then finally covering it up. And then the next step is with Saturn and Piscean energy. It's like watering it, even with it being in Aquarius, right? Depending on the astrology you follow. Aquarius is the water bearer. So it's still this watery sense of cultivating and nurturing, right? So now I do feel like there's going to be that expansion in networking. There's going to be that sense of connectivity, camaraderie, right? This greater sense of humanity that will start to rise. And I really do feel like in beautiful ways, could also be in tragic ways. So, you know, every little good comes with some bad. Every lot of bad comes with some good. It's that yin and yang, okay? That I really do feel very strongly under this new moon. What else? Is there anything else? I feel like I'm just going on and on and on and on. Anything else here, Divine? Okay, I heard a no. So let's get into this. I'm going to sound my singing bowl one time. We will begin the card portion of this reading with our singing bowl, and we'll end it with the singing bowl as well. So if you're listening to this through headphones, I will try my hardest to not sound this too loud, but if you feel like it might be too loud, you might want to turn the volume down just for this part, okay? I'll be doing a silent prayer for you all. You are more than welcome to pray along with me if you feel inclined or comfortable, or you can do whatever gratitude and grounding practice feels right and best for you in this moment. All right, go ahead and get started, and we'll see what's going on. All right. Thank you so much, Divine. How is this new moon in Pisces and Aries connecting to our chakra centers? What's important for us to know about the energetic shifts happening with this new moon in Pisces, Aries? Okay. Time machine. Wow. Yeah, that is the energy of that all burning all the old to make room for the new, right? This is root chakra energy, earth energy, the vibration of 3. Okay, so 3 might mean something to you. 3 might be an important synchronicity for you. Things might start happening in 3s. Oh, that's very interesting. There's something for somebody out there where things are going to start happening in 3s. Whether you hear the same phrase 3 times back to back, you hear the same word 3 times back to back, you see the same thing 3 times back to back. I'm seeing someone like looking at their receipts while they're going through their day or running some errands, and it's like the same number, like 17, 17, and then 17 again, and then 17 again. So maybe 17 means something here to you all. Maybe the 17th of March or the 17th of April might be important for some of you guys. Or maybe that's the day that you're born on. Or maybe it's 2017. Oh, because we do have time machine here. Maybe there's a cycle from 2017. That would be what? A 6-year cycle? That's coming to a close, coming to an end, wrapping up here with this new moon. So you might feel the energies of 6 years ago in this now moment that might be coming up for you to release. Or to set intentions around releasing, or to have a greater awareness around. Thank you so much, Divine. Tell me more. Ooh. And we're moving right on up. The sacral chakra. Vibration of 10. We have close encounters. So this could be a time where you were very close with some people. Maybe this was a time where you were really close to family that you're maybe not so close to anymore, or friends that you feel like you've grown apart from, lovers that you no longer connect with or feel connected to. There could be some residual energy that's presenting itself under this new moon for you to address, for you to really close those doors on, right? And kind of put that time period in the past. Vibration of 10, which breaks down into a 1. So yeah, something completing with a close encounter or close relationship that you once had. And then we have feeling the world. That comes off as Piscean energy, to be honest, right? We're still somewhat in that season. Again, we have started the Pisces-Aries cusp. So feeling the world, feeling the world. This might have been a time where you were very, very emotionally sensitive here, collective. This might have been a really rough cycle that you went through, where it felt like the weight of the world was on your shoulders, or the weight of your world was resting on your plate, or again on your back. Like I'm seeing someone like carry their world on their back. this could have been like a moment where you maybe had your first awakening, 2017, or you maybe got initiated into some form of awakening, whether you did, I'm hearing like ayahuasca, or you went on some sort of like spiritual retreat that really activated this energy for you. Or maybe this was activated by a partner, like close encounters that connected you a little deeper into feeling, activated your sacral chakra in a way that maybe, yeah, that's that thawing. So some emotions that were maybe stored up that needed to be released, right? Time machine. Interesting though that during the new moon we're going back in time. I feel like whatever this period in life for you was, it felt like the world around you was either caving in on you, and or it's like it meant so much, right? That whatever this close encounter was, it was your world at one point. Like it was hard to see outside of this cage. It was hard to imagine life outside of whatever world you were in with someone else or whatever world you were a part of. Interesting. So we do have 13 here. So again, threes showing up, but 13 breaks down into a 4. So 4 might be important for you as well, especially like the number 13. It is a divine feminine energy. Maybe this is when your own internal divine feminine awakened. Some of you, this could be a date. March 10th, 2013. I know that's 10 years ago. So this could be a 10-year cycle. Yeah, you do have a 10 here. Some of you are on a 6-year cycle. Others of you are closing out a 10-year cycle with this new moon. So whatever was going on, and I know that might be a far reach to be like, what in the heck was I doing in spring of 2013? But it was the pinnacle of something. I just heard it was the pinnacle. It was the pinnacle of some sort of cycle, or the pinnacle of a very emotional, I almost want to say emotionally traumatic, or of like an emotional roller coaster. Like they're showing me like the height of a roller coaster. That could have been a time where you were at that peak at the very, very top, and then you just whoosh, right? And did all the twists and turns and roundabouts and flipped over and flipped back. It was like, it just might have been a little chaotic around then. But it feels like it was chaotic because of a relationship, all right? That I cannot pull away from. It feels like it was tethered to a relationship that either was keeping you back, holding you back. Because when we have butterflies here, again, it's a symbol of transformation, like true cellular transformation, right? Think of how a butterfly comes to be. It is once a crawling insect, and then it transforms. It practically explodes and then recalibrates itself, right? All the fibers and membranes turn into something different in order for that crawling thing to fly. So this could be a very reflective new moon for some of you guys, right? Where you might be looking back on these 6-year, 10-year cycles. I am seeing the number 12 here. 12-year cycle maybe, okay? That, I just heard that very loudly. I thought I'd never evolve from it. Like I thought I would never get out of this cage. I thought this was the end for me. I thought this was all that the world had to offer me. So this could have been a very dark period, right? We are under a dark moon. That is very normal to have kind of that darker energy show up. Yeah, I feel like this was a battle that some of you guys fought through emotionally, where there were people, places, things that were caging you in and holding you back to where you couldn't fly. So you might have even transformed at that time, right? But you couldn't really step into that butterfly energy just yet. So you might have been moving as if you were a caterpillar, but you were actually a butterfly back then. And maybe that's what you're connecting with now. It's like the weight of the world was so heavy, the feeling everything, feeling connected to so many different people, or just having a lot of cyclical trauma come up for you, that it was hard to see that you actually grew wings, like you actually transformed, but I don't think you could see it. Because if the world reflected back to you at that time, it would say you were still a caterpillar. But I think you were really a butterfly. You were just a trapped butterfly. But I don't think you're trapped anymore, which feels nice. Feels really, really good. What's at the bottom? Broken open, heart chakra, vibration at 28. Okay, so the 28th of March might be important here. Very important day. Or the 28th of any month might connect to you here. Or again, another 10. So for some of you, it's for sure a 10-year cycle, right? We're in 2023. I'm seeing March 10th, 2013. That's 10 years ago. So definitely 10 is important here. So that's, again, a sign of completion. So you've completed this cycle. It's almost like some of you might be staring down this portal energy, right? Time machine. And I feel like at this moment, it's evolve or repeat. Ooh. Oh, collective. It's evolve or repeat. You either acknowledge that you've evolved from this 10-year cycle. You acknowledge that you're the butterfly and you're changed and you're completely different. Your cells, your membranes, your composition is totally different from then, and you accept that and you embrace that. Or you still maybe feel like the caterpillar. But the choice is yours with this time machine energy. You can either walk back in time, go back to that cycle, or you can move forward. Broken open, though. I think this was a period, or this was a necessary cycle, collective, for you to go through so that your heart could crack open. Oh, it's like the weight of that feeling. I'm seeing like this world energy. Like, let's say your heart was just like covered in coal or just rock solid in cement. And it's like the weight of all you felt. There was so much pressure on your heart space that it couldn't help but break open. There was nothing else for it to do but to crack open. And although that can be painful, it can be painful. It was so necessary. And I think you guys have grown beautifully from that energy, to where I don't think you'll ever close your heart off like that again. But you now are maybe more protective, more guarded with your heart, but not in a way where you're not accessible. It's just in a way where you're using discernment now. You've evolved. I think a lot of you have chosen to evolve from this cycle. So congratulations to you all. For those of you where you might be at a crossroads where it's like, I mean, I could go back, I could evolve. We'll get into that for you, because I feel like that might get clarified a little bit more in the tarot that we're about to pull. But I think a lot of you chose to evolve, and that's just like the reflection point and period here. Okay? Remember, new moon, deeply reflective, falling into the void, right? This could have been a time in life where you felt very void, very empty. Maybe you looked at the world as having, again, nothing for you. There's no abundance for me. There's no one out there for me, or you know what I mean? There's nothing in this world with my name on it. Like, it's just feeling very desolate, very, maybe even a little bit depressed, okay? Hopeless, really. I'm seeing the Star card, but in reverse. Yeah, just feeling very hopeless about your life, about who you were, about what you were gonna do, and it could have just been a lot, all right? Yeah, I'm going to pull tarot. We're going to try something a little different here. I'm going to pull tarot on this, and then I'm going to read these, okay? Everything's visible. 13s have been showing up everywhere. Yes. Yes. Oh, you were pregnant with your first child, Angela. Oh, that is so sweet. That is beautiful. Oh, I love you guys so, so much. Okay. All right. Let's see. Thank you so much, Divine. Let me make sure my deck's up, right side up. Yeah. Tell me more about this root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the heart chakra for this new moon in Pisces and Aries. What's important for my collective here to learn or to know about time machine, close encounters, feeling the world, and broken open. What's this time machine all about? What time frame are we revisiting under this new moon? Oof, yeah. There you go. You got the 4 cups. An energy of transition, honestly. Right? Feeling like you're in between worlds. That's what some of you this time machine is offering, yeah? It's like you can either stay with the 3 cups that you're used to, or you can embrace a 4th one. That might be a little different. Might be a little out of the ordinary. Might be more aligned with what you want. Some of you are like, I'm not looking back. I don't want to go back there. That was like a really dark time for me. I don't even want to touch it. I'm ready for something new. And that's fair and that's valid, yeah? Tell me more. Tell me more about this time machine. It could have been also, again, like we were touching on, this might have been a time where you guys are really emotionally conflicted a little bit, feeling a little discontent. Not all the way disappointed, but just something is shifting, something's changing, something's a little off. Yeah, let's talk about shifting and changing with Temperance here. Ooh, that's the Temperance angel offering you guys this opportunity. It's like we can either go back or we can go forward. Your choice, you choose whatever you want. Your life, your free will. But whatever it is going to change. There is a change here. Okay? This is beautiful though, because I really do feel like this Temperance angel energy, right? The angel of patience. I think a lot of you maybe chose even back then to be patient and to wait that cycle out. Like knowing that you were not completely happy with it, not feeling completely connected to it, but understanding, I think even back then your higher self knew that this was going to be for your greater good. And even if you weren't really connected and tethered in back then, it's like there was just something that just told you to sit and surrender. Like just roll with it, go with it, shift with it. Okay, tell me more about this time machine in the root chakra. Oh, the world in reverse. That's this. That's feeling the world. Right? World upright is a sense of victory, a sense of conquer, a sense of completion, right? World in reverse says, still on the cycle. Like I'm not finishing what I need to finish. I don't feel supported. It's like the difference between being on top of the world and being under it. That's the image I was getting with someone carrying a world on their back. It's like, I think that's what that felt like. All the pressure was on you. All the work was on you. Everything was on you to either get things done, to finish things out, or that weight and the gravity of it all just hit you really differently. The world in reverse, though, I think that's what I'm saying. Some of you might feel like you have unfinished business from whatever cycle this is being presented again. Some of you, it's a 10-year. Some of you, it's a 6-year. Some of you might feel like there's unfinished business. Why is the world in reverse here with time machine here, Divine? In this root chakra. Feeling wow, that fell right on top of it. Look at that. The 2 of Wands. Again, a path, it's a choice. You get to choose here. You get to choose what that looks like, what that means for you, okay? Let me scoot this over a little bit so everything is in view, hopefully. 2 of Wands. Yeah, you get to create the path. Your choice. It's whatever you want to manifest. So some of you might feel called back to that time period and feeling as if you maybe left a part of yourself back there, or something isn't complete with the world in reverse. That could be presenting itself to you, and again, it could be in the form of a relationship. Someone from that time period or that phase in your life might be showing back up here. Desiring to, it's like something wants to come out of this deck, but it keeps like shutting itself back in. This could be somebody who wants to approach you, wants to connect with you, but they keep stopping themselves because of maybe, oh, it's just been so long. You know, maybe they're not even interested in talking to me. Somebody could be going through that energy. Tell me more about time machine and close encounters. And there's the death card I saw. Yeah, some of you guys, it's like, yeah, no, this is dead and gone. I have already risen from this energy like a phoenix, right? Phoenix being that archetype of the Scorpio, which is represented by death, rising from your ashes. Some of you are like, I already rose from that phase. I'm in a new energy. I'm in a new vibe. Yeah. I also kind of get this energy of release. That's really interesting. I've never gotten release with temperance. Because the crow right here just like locked in on my eye and was like release. So maybe this was a sense of control that you had back then, collective. Maybe it was this sense of, I gotta make sure everything happens or nothing happens, right? Again, feeling the world, the weight of the world. It's all on me. It's all on my shoulders. Every choice I make, it's like feeling almost like you can't mess up. You can't, you know, pressure, to just be honest. It was just a very pressure-filled time. But again, I think you guys have chosen to leave that cycle alone, to leave it in the past, to head towards something new. Even if part of you maybe feels like something's unfinished. Yeah, because where you're headed, there you go. Where you're headed, it's beautiful, honestly. It's bright, sunny, successful, joy. Okay? Four of Wands. This could even be, maybe some of you do have positive memories of whatever that time cycle or that phase was. Maybe this was when you felt very sunny. There's the solar plexus. You felt very vibrant, filled with vitality, in good harmony, in good balance with your relationships. This could have been a marriage you were a part of here, collective, that you felt really optimistic and positive about. Tell me more about this close encounter. Tell me more about the Sun and the Four of Wands with close encounter. Thank you. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, hold on, sorry. My deck was upside down. So we're going to put that right there. Yeah, some of you could definitely have a child from this situation. I know Angela mentioned, right? That was when she had her first child. I definitely see that energy here with the Page of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Four of Wands. Earth being feminine energy. Could have been a daughter. Could also have been a son, because you do have the sun there, yeah? I really do feel like... Oh, okay. I want to tread lightly with this. Because it feels like whatever this relationship was, whatever this Four of Wands was, it was absolutely fated and destined to happen. For some of you, it was meant to because you had a child that came out of it, right? Others of you, it feels like this Four of Wands offered you something to study, something to learn about yourself, gave you some sort of stability, some sort of grounding emotionally, even if it was for a short amount of time with the Page of Pentacles, right? There's always just one pentacle with the page, so even if it was just for 1 year, 1 month, or whatever that might have been, okay? One might be important. Again, 10 breaks down into a 1. Maybe this was somebody that you did feel like you were one with, right? Like someone, again, you have the Four of Wands. You guys maybe came together as one. Very hopeful, very optimistic, especially with the sun here. There was a lot of joy. I think there was a lot of good even amid the bad, if there was any. Yeah, it's like even though there was a lot of pressure, there was still a lot of joy, a lot of happiness. It's like that time period, some of you guys, again, if there is a child that comes out of it, it's like you might look at that child and be like, what a gift that came out of such heaviness, right? Even though I was the butterfly trapped in the cage, it's like you can even see the difference in this butterfly and then almost kind of like a child or a baby butterfly there. That close encounter, that union, that bond, that contract that you entered into gave you this Page of Pentacles, this seed almost, right? Something to learn from. Because I am a firm believer that children do come into your life to teach you lessons, right? lessons, especially with the Page of Pentacles, lessons around time management, responsibility, focus, what's important, what's not. It's like you got to learn how to kind of roll with the punches a little bit with kids, right? Because they're just children. They're going to mess up. They're going to do things the wrong way. It's like it tested patience. Ooh, Temperance being here. Yeah, it's like this child, for some of you, this is a child, or this was maybe a relationship that was almost like a silver lining in a very testy time, in a very, again, pressure filled, the weight of the world, going through a lot of shifts, a lot of transformation, a lot of changes, maybe shifting paths, changing careers, right? Like trying to navigate that, all of that. And I feel like this was the inspiration for it. So although that maybe that relationship brought you a lot of death in the sense of transcendence, right? And that might have been very difficult, or it could have been a little dark for some of you guys. It's like this was the beauty for the ashes, which I find very, very sweet. Very, very sweet. Something for those of you where this wasn't a child, and maybe you're at that crossroads of like, I still feel like there's unfinished business, or I still feel like there's something I'm learning from that cycle 6 years ago, 10 years ago, that I need to cement, or I need to figure out. And I think it is centered around relationships, how to have successful partnerships and relationships, not just romantic ones, but platonic ones as well. Something needs to be studied from that cycle in the now moment to complete this and kind of get the world upright, for you to fully go through this death process, fully release it. Oh, that's what it could be. Some of you guys could still be holding on to some energy. That was way too many cards. Holding on to some energy from that time. But that's what I think is going to clear out now, or what you're finally going to release for those of you that will resonate with that timeline, and fully embrace and go through this transcendence with the death energy, which again, 13 and 13, right? So tell me more about close encounters and feeling the world. Ooh. Oh, the Emperor. Yeah, you had to take charge. You had to step up in ways that you were maybe not used to. You had to, I just keep hearing that. I had to take charge of my life. Especially if there was a child involved, it was like, oh, okay. It was like that could have been a really strong reality check for some of you guys around like, okay, I need to start making these decisions and these choices, and I need to start getting this together. And like, it got you onto a path. Yeah, it got you onto a path of having to learn how to be the emperor in your own life, regardless of your gender. There could have been an Aries or a Taurus a part of this cycle for you, or a Scorpio, or a Sagittarius, Capricorn too, Leo, double Aries with the 2 and the 4 of Wands. And then I think Cancer here, you got the Hierophant, so definitely a Taurus for sure. Or someone with strong Taurus in their chart. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, right? Anybody can embody the Hierophant, but again, with feeling the world of the Emperor and the Hierophant, it's like, yeah, I almost get the energy of someone looking out to the world and seeing like a lack of morals, or a lack of morality, or a lack of structure, or like this sense of something isn't right, something's missing. 4 of Cups. And realizing that whatever they might be yearning for or looking for is not in the world. It's within them. It's like the Hierophant is very reflective, right? They like to keep up status quo. They like to uphold traditions, and the book and the law says this, and this is how we do that. Some of you had to kind of step into this Emperor Hierophant energy, where not only are you like a leader on the ground, but you're also a leader in faith, or like a leader in spiritual practices, or again, having to be the spiritual guide for other people, or again, maybe this child, right? I get almost having to play two different roles. So maybe some of you guys were single parents, or became a single parent during this time, and it was like, okay, now I gotta be the mom and the dad and the mom. You know what I mean? I have to have or expand my sense of duality. There's that temperance energy again. Two things having to blend into one. Right? In the same way that Sag is the half man, half beast, half horse, centaur type energy, right? Very, very into the higher mind, but also super tethered to the lower nature and the lower chakras. It's that balance. It's the charge of that temperance. How do I balance out? Yeah. How do I balance out being in between those worlds, right? Both human, but also both very beast-like. I feel like whatever this time period was, it pulled something new out of you. I don't know that many of you were used to being the emperor of your own life, used to people coming to you for advice, right? You might have been the one that went to everybody else for advice, but now I think for some of you, there is a child here. Like now there's a child looking up to you and being like, well, what do we do? And it's like, okay, I actually got to know what I'm doing now, because there's another life at stake here. Or you know what I'm saying? It's like you're learning how to be that teacher. Oh, and then for some of you, it's like, well, how do I teach this child about the world and how the world works? Oh, yeah. Some of you felt very, and even if this isn't like a child of yours, this could have been like a sibling that you were responsible for. Take it all how it resonates. A niece, a nephew, a cousin, somebody that you took in or had to take in, maybe due to some death here or some unfortunate circumstance or some shift. And it's like, how do I guide? Like, you know what I'm saying? How do I step into that role? Feeling the weight of the world, feeling the pressure to be in those roles. Some of you, this doesn't even connect to children at all. This could have just been a time where you were looked at or people were counting on you quite a bit. Or they expected you to be the emperor and the Hierophant. Everybody's looking up to you and being like, well, what do we do? How are we going to move forward? Like, again, it brought out the leader in you. 9 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Or Hierophant, again, being higher learning. You had to learn a lot. It was a learning curve for some of you guys, regardless of what the situation was. This cycle was a learning curve. And some of you might be holding a little bit of resentment for having to learn this lesson in the way that it transformed or transpired. Some of you, slightly. Especially with the world being in reverse. It's like, I can't go through the death process because I'm still feeling what I felt back then, or I still have a little bit of 4 of Cups, a little bit of I want to say disappointment, but that's the 5 of Cups, right? I don't think you were quite there, but it's just dissatisfaction. Like, did it have to be that way? Did I have to go through all of that just to learn these lessons? Couldn't it have been different? Couldn't it have been easier? I guess it could have, you know, but I really do feel like the answer is like no to that. Whatever this was, however this unfolded, it was meant to be. And maybe that's the part of acceptance. Oh yeah, that could be a big theme for you guys into this new moon. It's accepting. It's accepting that what has transpired, what has happened over this cycle is what is. It can't change and it won't change. Maybe that's also some of it. It's like, had I just chosen a different path, things would be different, and I don't think they would be. You would have just encountered someone else, or, you know, found the same lesson, the same situation in just different people in different circumstances. And I know that that's hard to reconcile in the heart, especially broken open, right? That is hard to reconcile in the heart, because the mind wants to say, well, dang, if I just would have chose this, I could have avoided all of that. I could have just bypassed this and went straight to that. No. No. As beautiful and as wonderful as that sounds, and to think of that, no. You had to go through this. You had to. It was going to be this way regardless. This is what we're talking about, and we have been talking about a lot on my channel, about the difference between fate and destiny. This cycle that you went through, this close encounter, this feeling the world, was fated. Fated. Every decision you could have made was going to lead to this situation and this happening. You having to be the emperor, becoming the Hierophant, or having to go through higher learning, through some difficulties, learning through relationships, going through this death process, having to transmute all this energy with the temperance, feeling the weight of the world, right? So that you could break open, that you could really clear a lot of blockages, I feel like, through your chakra system so that your crown could open up. All orchestrated. I know that's hard to accept sometimes, okay? But maybe that's the work under this new moon. I'm right there with y'all, okay? Because if I think back to 2013 and even 2017, yes, I'm right here with y'all, okay? Trust and believe. I work through these energies with you guys too. So tell me more about this Hierophant and the Fool and reverse, right? That's what I mean. I can't make a mistake. I can't take a risk. I can't, excuse my French, but I can't fuck this up. Like, it's too delicate. It's too important. It's too precious. It's just too much pressure. I have to make sure that I'm doing the right things. Or I have to take a leadership role. I can't just be foolish anymore. Not that you ever were. But it really does feel like I want to avoid making mistakes. I want to avoid falling off the cliff again. I can't afford to fall off this cliff. I can't afford to let things fall. I can't afford to just be careless. Ooh. King of Pentacles. Definitely some Taurus energy here. Okay? I have to do the right thing. I have to, yeah, it's like I gotta master this pentacle energy. I have to master being grounded. Especially if there was somebody depending on you back then, or still depending on you, or again, like Angela shared, she had a child. It's like, right, now I have to be dependable. I can't be careless. I can't be reckless. I can't just do whatever I want to do. There's somebody else depending on me. Page of Pentacles to the King of Pentacles. I have to be the emperor now. I have to take charge. I have to lead my own life, or I have to lead the way for someone else. Because I think, honestly, especially with the Scorpio energy here, it's very different when you're only responsible for you. You know what I mean? When there's other people involved in it, it's almost like their needs and their wants come before yours. So my life is no longer about me. It's now about this Page of Pentacles. It's now about whomever is depending on me. And I think that was a lot. I think that was a lot for a lot of you guys to take on, whatever this was. But I feel like you did it. I can't get away from that energy. It's like I really do want to smile, because I think you guys have really journeyed through it in a very, with temperance here, in a very graceful way. You made the shifts, you made the changes, you did the surrendering, you stepped up when you needed to. And I think you need to maybe look back at that time and again, see how far you've come and pat yourself on the back. Including the mistakes that you feel you made. Give yourself grace for those, because you were learning the Hierophant. You were learning. You were learning. Yeah. Ooh, so much wants to come out here. Okay, tell me about the energy between feeling the world and broken open. Thank you. Yeah. Nope, my deck's not upside down. 8 of Swords. Ooh, some of you were so harsh on yourselves. And I feel like maybe that's a learned behavior. When it was time to step up, when it was time to get serious, when it was time to kind of get yourself on track, it comes from this strong sense of self-discipline, yes, but almost to the point of where you might have over-critiqued yourself, or you're over-critiquing the choices you've made in this present moment. But that's what you're coming out of, the Eight of Swords. Oh, everybody thought of this of me, or you know what I mean? It's kind of like releasing the perceptions of others, of how it looked to other people, because who cares? It's you were living it, no one else was. Like, however you feel about it and however you envision it and however you connect to it is what is important. Yeah, that could be a big release. You might have been holding the judgments of others against yourself. People think that I'm this and people think that I'm that, and they maybe think I'm irresponsible, and I'm going to show them and prove them. And so that maybe is what motivated you to become the King of Pentacles, regardless of your gender, right? I'm going to show them, right? That type of a little bit of fighter in there. But I think if not released, if not let go, if not properly healed and balanced, it becomes a barrier. It becomes the cage. Because now it's the opinions of others that was fueling you. So now you're looking for what people are saying so that you can keep going when it's like, now it doesn't even matter. If that's what you needed to initiate you into this Emperor and Hierophant energy, King of Pentacles vibration, taking that leadership, taking action, stabilizing yourself, making sure you were abundant, getting things in order, then that's great, right? But now I feel like it's at a point where it's still trapped. It's trapping you now. Where you maybe felt like you had something to prove. I don't think you have anything to prove anymore. There's nothing to prove here, collective. There's no opinion anymore. It's like, oh no, they did it. Great, wonderful. And you're like, wait, no, like I'm used to you guys like beating me up, or you know what I mean? Just kind of critiquing me. No, where's the critique? And it's like, some of you might be even looking for it a little bit subconsciously. And I don't think it's there. Eight of Swords. You're released from it. You get to move on. You get to move forward. You get to see yourself clearly. And maybe that's even the thing. It's like, whatever this situation was, whatever happened, you might have just been very harsh on yourself about it. Two of Wands. I should have chose something else. I should have did something different. And it's like, no, you got to really release yourself from that. This is the perfect moon to do so, especially with this rebirth energy. Oh, you are ready to be reborn, collective. I can't tell you any other way. You are ready to shed that version of yourself with grace, temperance. You're ready to ascend. Now allow it to happen, right? Don't hold on to who you were back then. Don't hold on to the feeling of the choices that you had to make. Don't hold on to everybody's view or opinion about what you were doing or how you did it or whatever happened. Don't hold on to that. Because it's not real anymore. Eight of Swords in reverse. It's not real anymore. It doesn't define you anymore. It's not who you are. It's not where you are. Time machine. So some of you might even go through this kind of time machine portal and again with the world in reverse have to face some of this energy a little bit. But I love, love, love that the Eight of Swords is in reverse because it means it's not anything that's blocking you or stopping you anymore or blinding you anymore to seeing who you truly are. Do you see how this came out? Emperor, Hierophant, King of Pentacles. Stable leader. High priest. Wise. Wisdom. You have so much wisdom now. And that's what I mean. For some of you, that's the release. That's the key that unlocks this cage. Is that no matter what choice you would have made, you would have had to encounter these situations or go through these experiences in order for you to gain the wisdom, the higher perspective, and go through the higher learning process that you did. The players could have been different, the faces could have been different, the environment could have been different, but it would have been the same lessons, the same setup, the same situation. All set up for you to what? Transform and release and shift. Which is powerful to break open. Yeah, because Seven of Cups. Some of you are still a little bit emotionally conflicted about this time period in your life. And I think that this is a beautiful, beautiful energy and new moon to do that work. Okay, so my heart goes out to all of you who are doing that shadow work. Okay, really releasing yourself from this past cycle. Seeing it for what it truly is. Because, come on now, like I said, Six of Wands, you're having victory. Spirit wanted you to know that. because I didn't even ask nothing. I was just kind of still in the channel of it. That's what Spirit wants you to know. You've conquered it already. That's why the Eight of Swords is in reverse. It's not holding you back anymore. You've conquered it. Everything, I just heard that so loud. Wow. Everything that they thought you weren't going to be, you already are. So what are you really fighting against? You know what I mean? It's like there's no fight here anymore. And there's new fights, sure, new battles, new obstacles, but this particular one, you're not fighting it anymore. There's nothing to fight. You conquered it. Six of Wands. And again, I think you've done so with grace. You've done so with such temperance, fluidity, like just in a way where what else can be said? Nobody can really say anything to you. And even if they can, or even if they do, it's just a reflection of them being stuck, right? Again, all that matters is your perception of your path, okay? And I think for a lot of you, what you might be releasing is how you either feared you were being perceived by others, or again, maybe how people were coming at you or speaking on you or talking about you or saying things to you when you were trying to navigate all of this. Yeah, Seven of Cups wanted to come back out. I get a question of why did I have to do it this way? Why did it have to be this way? And you know, God alone can answer that for you. Don't be afraid to ask that, honestly, under this new moon, especially for those of you where the world is still in reverse when it comes to this situation in this cycle. Because I think once you get that answer again, that's another key that's going to unlock you from that cage. Okay, so what does the collective need to know about being broken open in this beautiful heart chakra energy? Bottom of the deck. Oh, okay, maybe. What do you... Shut the reading down. We're done. We are done. What do you need to know about being broken open, collective? The Ace of Cups and the High Priestess. That's what you need to know. That's what you need to know. So not only do we have a true pair out here, right? The Hierophant and the High Priestess. We also have an Ace of Cups that came out with the High Priestess. Some of you, that could even be the joy, right? I'm not even going to look at the bottom of the deck. I think we want to just keep that there. That could be that sun. It's like, for some of you guys, if this was a relationship, this High Priestess might have been a catalyst for you in order for you to connect deeper with your Ace of Cups. Or to find your sense of Ace of Cups. That's a lot of self-love. That's a lot of connection with Source. Trusting Source to fulfill your emotional needs. Trusting that all you need emotionally will come to you, will happen for you, is overflowing, is all around you, and it's abundance of love. Broken open in the heart chakra, being able to actually feel that in a very real sense. For some of you, that maybe came through a child. It's like I didn't even really know the depth of love until I had my child, or till I experienced that. I didn't even know the depth of love. I couldn't even imagine it, what life would be like without that love. And that could have been the catalyst, right? For you to really step into this energy and clear out a lot of these things, or face a lot of these things that were confusing you or conflicting you. Because it's like, that feels very real. So what's going on with these 7 cups? How come I'm not feeling any of that from these 7 cups? And that could have been, again, maybe a 7-year cycle for some of you guys. Of going through each cup, 1 cup a year. That's powerful though, with the High Priestess and the Ace of Cups. Broken open. It's a lot of clarity. That's a lot of insight. That's a lot of truth about not only who you are, collective, but how Source works through you. Some of you were the Ace of Cups for someone in this cycle back then. That pushed them into this transcendence. Again, some of you might not even be aware of how powerful you really are when you are tethered to Source, or just the potency, I think, of your own energy. I think you showed up, okay, because I kind of get that this high priestess energy might have showed up in this Hierophant's life. Oh, yeah, because think about it. Let's say the King of Pentacles was the last king that the Emperor needed to master in order to be the Emperor and then become the Hierophant. It's I almost feel like this high priestess maybe found some of you guys, or you were the high priestess that connected with somebody when they were really in a very, dark emotional pit. That hurt again. I'm hearing things so clearly today. Dark emotional pit. They didn't know which way was up, which way was down, what was love, what was hate. It's like they couldn't tell the difference between these 7 cups, but clearly there are different things in these cups, right? So it's almost like getting this Ace of Cups energy, or connecting to that source vibration, or getting that feeling of love through whatever this was, clarified the path to a Wands, clarified what was real and what wasn't. Now, having to sort through that and deal with that and release that and kind of face it and heal it and mend it and release it all. Do you know what I mean? That might have been the cycle. That's what I mean. That one, it could have been one encounter. It could have been a one moment, 1 month, 1 year, that then trickled into every year having to face a new cup. And I think you guys have faced the last cup here, or for some of you, you will be facing the last cup depending on how you entered this cycle. This might be the new year that you get through that last cup, so that you get to the 8 of Cups to release it all and walk away. Because then again, the 8 of Cups is a point of no return. Once you get to the 8 of Cups, you can only head forward to the 9 and the 10. So that's what a lot of you guys have in your future here. Maybe not over this coming year, but maybe through the next one. But some of you, it's like, some of you guys are like on either side of this time machine. Or someone could be reflecting on you, like when you guys were in this close encounter, and how that transformed them, death process, and how that catalyzed and shifted so much for them. Or you're looking back at that time and being like, wow, look at how I've shifted so much. That one moment, or that one encounter, that one connection just had a ripple effect through my whole life. But it's like, look at where you're ending up, broken open as the High Priestess and the Ace of Cups. Like, it's just so in tune, so knowing your truth, an abundance of love, such a vibrant heart chakra. So not only are you open to giving, but you're also open to receiving. That's just a beautiful space to be in. So for some of you, that's what you have to look forward to. Or that could even be the why. Some of you might be in that questioning stage. It's because you need to be broken open. And this was the way that Source knew would actually penetrate through that cement around your heart. Okay? So the more you surrender to it, the more you're going to gain, the more you're going to learn, the more you'll eventually love and feel. And maybe not look at feeling as such a bad thing, because that could be some of it too. Oh, feelings just trap me. Feelings just distract me. Feelings this and feelings that. Oh, they're bad. No. Feelings are such beautiful reminders of being, 1, alive, 2, connected. It gives you so much information about not only who you are, but who other people are. Not only your own influence, but other people's influence. It's just so informational. And I think that's a big key here for some of you guys too, where you might still be in the 7 of Cups. How do I decode all the information I'm getting from all these cups? How do I see what I couldn't see before? Trust that'll come with time. Trust that the divine will teach you how to do that through these lessons, through these situations, through these connections. But ultimately, the why you had to go on that cycle is because you need to be broken open, period. Another 10, so that something can complete for you. All right? Before we get into the moon mantras, I do want to read, I kind of want to read a little bit from all of these. Boop, boop, boop. Sorry, I know, I just realized, like, I don't even think I took a breath. I'm over here just going and going and going. Thank you guys for being with here and just hearing me rant. I love it. Okay, I appreciate y'all. All right. Time machine, root chakra energy, okay? Key concepts, inherited patterns, conditioning, lessons already learned. Collective. Lessons already learned. Some of you are like, been there, done that, learned it, don't want to do it again. And that's a beautiful space to be in too. Why? Because you're in the high priestess. You know what you need to know. What's that saying? I've seen everything that I needed to see, right? It's like, that's what some of you guys are saying to this time machine. Don't need to go back in time. I already know what's going on. I've got it, learning, ready to move forward, okay? Cellular memory. Honoring the past without being trapped there, y'all. Spirit. Honoring the past, the world in reverse, without being trapped there. 8 of Swords in reverse. You can honor it. It was a beautiful time. It was the sun. It was great. We had our moment. We had the thing, whatever. But I'm not stuck there. It doesn't affect me anymore. It's not who I am anymore. It doesn't make decisions for me anymore. Because that's what you run the risk with the 7 of Cups. The past making decisions for you based off emotions, because it can still trigger you and it can still get you and no, I feel it and oh my gosh, now I'm going to act out of that. It's like you're not reliving the old cycle anymore. Oh my gosh, collective, this is beautiful. You're not reliving the old cycles. Oof. I just got to chill. You are living in a new one. You are living in the new one, the Ace of Cups, the new one. I'm getting giddy and excited over here. Okay, here we go. Let me see. I guess we just gonna read it, y'all. We here, all right? We rely on stories we inherit from our ancestors, our families, our culture, and the world around us to construct a map of our reality. As we develop new stories in life, we build on those old foundations, repair them when we can, and tear them down to begin again. So some of you, again, are building on old foundations. Some of you are repairing old foundations. Some of you are tearing them down completely to start over. The best and most powerful traits and experiences of your ancestors are yours to integrate into your life so you don't have to revisit their hardships or rectify their mistakes. Did I not say some of you guys are absorbing or living out things that aren't necessarily coming from you? It's like you're taking on other people's opinions. That could really be this. Time machine, you have an opportunity to choose differently. 2 of Wands. To not have to go through the same things. To learn the lesson. And a lot can be learned. Oh, well, I guess it depends, because you would really have to know who your ancestors are to know what lessons have already been stored up for you. And you just got to access it. You don't have to go through the situation. You could just reach in that Akashic record, learn, and then move forward. Some of you might be tapping into that power. Some of you might be having Akashic dreams. Maybe even if you're interested in that, you might want to type out here in the Google world or the YouTube world, Akashic meditation. See what happens and what comes up for you. Okay? Definitely vet it out though, because not every frequency works with every energy, right? You really got to find the ones that kind of connect with you and feel really... It's a feeling. You'll know when it's right. You'll feel at peace. If it startles you or ruffles you a little too much, that's not the frequency for you. It might be too high or it might be too low. I don't know why I'm going into that, but maybe that'll be helpful for some of you guys maybe getting into sound healing. Nonetheless, let's get back to this, okay? You have a magical map with which to navigate your current circumstances. Look to the past for answers now. Ask yourself, in this situation, what can I learn from those who came before me? What traits can I emulate in order to move through this challenge with wisdom? The Hierophant. How can I build on what I already know and integrate this understanding? The High Priestess. And Temperance. What might I do differently? The Death card. Wow. Sometimes you walk blindly into traps set in the past. Ooh. Perhaps you couldn't see that you were repeating a pattern until you were well in it. The best course of action here is to rest, practice self-compassion, and make a conscious choice to do something differently next time. Clarity will come. Remember that if you do what you always did, you'll get what you always got. History repeats itself only if you allow it. The most important thing is that you are becoming aware. You can make a different choice regarding how you respond to life right now. Yes, things can be awkward and uncomfortable as old hurts are revealed and new solutions are attempted. The time is ripe for change, so keep going. Every step is important. Allies will rally, but in the end, you are the one you've been searching for. One day, you remember how your beautiful new story was just around the corner. I'm gonna cry, but don't mind me, y'all, okay? Because that, y'all, I mean, just always such powerful energy. I love it. 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 Because it's just so aligned with everything that came out here. Again, remember, you already have the victory. You've already conquered this. And maybe that is the part of being harsh on yourself, right? It's like halfway through a cycle or halfway repeating a pattern from your ancestors, you're like, oh, dang, I'm doing the same thing that they did. Right? And so you can be hard on yourself. You could be like, oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, gosh, like, da-da-da. And it's just like, just let that go. Understand that you still have the power to choose differently next time. And I think for some of you, this is the moment to choose differently. Oh, this is the moment to do it different. Don't let the past patterns take over. You have the power, you have the know-how, you have the knowledge to do it differently. You can do this, collective, okay? Close encounters. Vulnerability as a strength, letting others see your wounds as well as your strengths, and setting healthy boundaries. This is a time of connection that asks for you to be vulnerable and authentic. Let go of any social mask or constructs you use to keep yourself apart from others. Lower your shields and allow yourself to step into a dance of intimacy. When you become close to people, you remind yourself that you are not alone. You're part of a beautiful, meaningful bond, the Sun and the Four of Wands, okay? So maybe that's even the shift. That even if it didn't last long or whatever the case might be, maybe some of you are still in it. You are a part of a beautiful and meaningful bond. Maybe some of you, that bond is through a child. Maybe some of you, that's bond with your soul tribe, with your family, okay? Take it how it resonates. At a deep spiritual level, there are so many lessons offered to you in this closeness. At a social level, intimate relationships help you ignite the spark of life that is the power of affinity. You flourish as a result of offering emotional honesty, a true desire for equality, love, friendship, and laughter. We aren't meant to be alone. Yet sometimes we are wounded and we build walls around ourselves so we don't get hurt again. It's time to be honest about yours and step out from behind that barrier and engage in all of life. This is a beautiful opportunity to allow your vulnerability to be your strength as you choose to live in integrity and without artifice. Or artifice, I guess. I think it's artifice. Even in your work life, this mode of connection allows you to be truly present. When you live this way, everything and everyone thrives. You have no need to defend yourself when you're being truly and utterly you. There's no fight to fight. Nothing to defend. Okay? Empowered by your raw openness, that's being broke open, and willingness to be seen. In this way, your close encounters will not fail you. There is much to celebrate when you stand eye to eye, shoulder to shoulder, sharing your heart. So for some of you, it's just learning that, again, whatever you went through with the Sun and the Four of Wands and this Page of Pentacles that came about out of that, and that very close energy or that intimacy, it was to teach you a lot, right? There were so many, what does that say? So many deep spiritual lessons that you have maybe pulled from that encounter, that you're still pulling from that encounter, or that you will continue to, right? That you're meant to. Because some of you, I feel like this is like maybe the first time you're doing a deep reflection on this. Others of you, you've been reflecting on this and it's just finally closing out those last details or releasing those last energies. Some of you are kind of smack dab in the middle of it all right? So there's hope for this completion and a deeper sense of connectivity regardless of the outcome, all right? Let's see what 13 has to say. Ooh. Oh, I don't think these all kind of came out in a step, right? 3 to 10 to 13. I don't think that's happened in a while. So feeling the world, sensitivity to the feelings of others, awareness of the whole world, and a broader perception, empathy, overload, and overwhelm. Yes. Empathy reminds you that you are not alone. It is a beautiful capacity to feel the connectivity all around you, giving you a profound sense of belonging, a broader experience of being part of the larger whole. That said, it can also be overwhelming, especially when you don't know where you end and the rest of the world begins. That's that Piscean energy, okay? Now is the time to be clear about your boundaries. Ask yourself whose energy you've turned into. You might find it's not even yours. If you're feeling off, and they put that in quotes, right? Off, or drained when you're with someone, they may be siphoning your energy. In such an instance, this connection is not good for you. No matter how charismatic the person is or how attracted to them you feel, do not mistake codependency for closeness. That was the lesson here. Ooh, that was the lesson. We'll get into that in a minute. So I'm going to read that again. Do not mistake codependency, not interdependent, but codependency for closeness, or allow your boundaries to become too porous. So maybe that was a major lesson over this past cycle that you're on, right? How to set boundaries, how to know when someone's overstepping a boundary, because that's huge, right? Depending on how you were raised, that might be a foreign concept, right? Or something that you had to work really hard to learn, to be okay with and comfortable with, setting those boundaries. And realizing that, again, closeness, some of you, this was like a trauma bond that you went through, right? Like, oh, you're wounded, I'm wounded, let's be wounded together, or oh, we can support each other. But again, trauma bonds are meant to teach you lessons. And I think that's what it is. It's learning how to be interdependent in intimacy and not codependent. Meaning you fall apart if that person's not there. They fall apart if you're not there. You guys aren't plugging each other's holes. It's like, it's really learning about how to fill that void for yourself. And once you learn that codependency will naturally dissolve, okay? Trust your instincts and take care of you. Practice saying no. Avoid the temptation to turn off and go numb. Instead, be present. Somewhere in the middle of this feeling spectrum is where the magic is. You're also being asked now to be aware of how your words and actions may affect others. While it's not your job to determine how someone will respond to you, discernment is necessary. Be firm, yet kind. Keep in mind that people-pleasing will not give you what you truly need. Oof. Bending to someone else's will not give you what you truly need. That said, your empathy is beautiful and important. It just has to be balanced, there's that temperance again, in order for you to access its wondrous gifts. Today, celebrate the beauty of your sensitivity and that of others. That's this. Not knowing which cup is yours. Heck, for some of you, all 7 of these cups don't belong to you. So you could have up to 7 people codependent on you, and emotionally or spiritually or mentally or physically. Take it how it resonates. And it's like, that's where the mistake might have been. That sense of someone needing you, or you maybe needing someone, felt like emotional closeness. Well, they always come to me, or they always depend on me. You know what I mean? They always need me, or they need me. So that means that they love me, or they really care about me. And it's like, not necessarily. They could just be needy. They could just be void themselves and looking at you in this overflow. High Priestess with the Ace of Cups, overflowing. Well, you just have so much. Just let me have some, because I can't connect to it for myself. Ooh, we've all gone through that, right? Especially if you identify as very empathic. Learning those boundaries, learning how to say no, even when you want to. You want to plug up everybody's holes. You want to fix people. You want to help them. It comes from a sincere space. But it's that discernment that's key. Who truly needs my help? And who's just hoping that I help them so they don't help themselves? Or they don't have to try? Who am I enabling? Who am I truly supporting? Some of y'all, that's the 7 of Cups you're in. Okay? All right, and last but not least, absolutely not least, because this is the crown jewel of the whole reading, being broken open, heart chakra energy, love energy, right? Oh, look at this. I love how this is worded. The gift of grief, being shattered as a result of loss, the potential inherent in failure. There are situations in life when you see the value of loss, grief, and a broken heart. Yet it's not the pain or loss itself that must be the focus of your attention here. No, not even the story of what happened. The details surrounding what has brought you to your knees is as important as what results from the experience. Can you see that this situation has broken you wide open, enabling you to have an even greater capacity for love, compassion, empathy, and understanding? You cannot be the same person as before. The only way forward is to move through it without resistance or manipulation, without attempting to bargain with unseen forces, because none of your usual fallbacks can put you back together again. If you fall prey to self-absorption or self-pity, it will just make it harder to get to the next gradual phase leading to relief. Yet even if you are prolonging the inevitable, you will get there eventually. The gift is in accepting who you've become as a consequence of integrating this difficult experience and allowing yourself to be more than you were. Y'all, the acceptance that I'm accept that this is and this was in order for me to become more than I was before. Right? So for those of you that were looking at the world, like, what does the world have for me? It has nothing left for me. All of that. It's like, oh, the world has so much more for you. You just have to see yourself as more and deserving of it. That's coming out of that 8 of Swords. This wisdom comes at a high price, but the value of your experience of moving through and to the other side is unsurpassed. Love the you that is the result of being broken open by life's challenges and lessons. That's that compassion, y'all. Had you not gone through this close encounter and this tough relationship and having to set boundaries and people using you or siphoning you or confusing you and abusing you or whatever that was, had you not gone through it and moved through it, had you not had that experience, you wouldn't be who you are today. And it feels like the divine with the Ace of Cups and the High Priestess, wants you to love who you are today. And in order to do so, you have to love this experience. And again, I know people hear that and it's like, well, I don't have to love it. It was terrible. No, no, no. I don't mean love it as in be ecstatic about it. I mean love it as embrace it as a part of you. Be open to it. Not resist it. Don't manipulate it. Don't try to make it what it wasn't, or don't try to cope from it. Literally feel it. Feel it in its entirety. That's, I think, what's keeping this world in reverse. Some of you still have a little bit more feeling to do. And that's okay. This is, again, the most beautiful new moon to do that under, because it's going to lead to your death. It's going to lead to your rebirth, your transcendence out of it. The freedom that you've been looking for, praying for, hoping for, begging God for, begging the universe for, starts with you embracing you. And all that you had to go through to become you. And to value those experiences as treasures, as painful as they were. The gift of grief. That's what I'm saying. Some people go through crazy things in life and don't shed a tear. Don't feel anything. Are so numb in this world. The fact that you allowed your heart to grieve, the fact that you were broken by it, means that you're alive, my collective. Please value living. Don't value being a zombie. Value being alive. Value having a pulse. I can't stress that enough. Because that's where the beauty is. That's where the magic is. The fact that your heart is still beating after feeling the brokenness. That you're still waking up every day, trying, putting your best foot forward, being open to the lessons, surrendering where you can. Not a lot of people do that. People give up, y'all, for years. Some people can't even imagine themselves being strong enough to survive this. This is not for the weak, so count yourself strong. Okay? Count yourself strong. Alrighty, y'all. Because now I'm teary-eyed and crying, so that feels like a good time to get a moon mantra. Let me make sure this is upside right. I mean, again, I feel like I say this almost every moon reading that we do, but y'all, it's the growth for me. It's the vulnerability. It's the authenticity that you guys show up in every single cycle, every single day. I can feel it. You guys do such beautiful work. And trust and believe, especially with the ancestral energy that's coming through. This is not just for you. This is for those that came before you, those that will come after you. You guys are major players, major cornerstones in your lineage. And you have to trust that. You have to know that. You have to walk that. As difficult and as hard and as painful and as rewarding and as beautiful and magical as it is, take it all and count it all joy. Because you, my collective, you're living. Not a lot of people are living, but y'all are living. And it doesn't, that's what you're here for. So for those of you who are like, oh, I feel like I don't know what I need to do and I'm not fulfilling. No, you are fulfilling your mission even when you're confused, even when you don't know what to choose. You are still meeting the mark. You haven't missed out on anything. You haven't messed up as badly as you feel you have. It's that self-compassion. It's that grace you need to extend to yourselves under this energy, okay? All right. Thank you so much, Divine, for this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reading for this new moon in Pisces and Aries. What moon mantras does this collective need to support them through what has shown up today? Ooh, there we go. This says, quiet reflection and rest provide the space I need to hear the longings of my heart. Regular communion with these whispers is a devotional act that allows me to stay the path. Stay the path. That's what I think I'm going to title this reading. Stay the path. So quiet reflection and rest provide the space I need to hear the longings of my heart. So that's your heart chakra speaking to y'all, right? Speaking to all of us. Regular communion with these whispers. So regular time spent with your heart space, listening in, using your high priestess gift to tune in, is a devotional act, almost as a prayer, that allows me to stay the path, that gives you that strength, it gives you that overflow, that Ace of Cups. It helps you make those choices, the Two of Wands. It breaks you out of the Eight of Swords. It helps you find victory, Six of Wands, and conquering all that has been thrown your way, everything that's been laid heavy on your shoulders to bear, your cross that you bear in this life. It keeps you going. Okay? All right. So that's where we'll end this. Wipe my tears. Give me a moment. I thank you guys so much, for those of you that have made it all the way through the end of this reading, for being here with me. I'm so grateful for the community that we have here. I'm I feel immensely blessed to connect with so many beautiful souls through this channel. And I thank you guys for being not only present here, but a lifeline for me, a light in my life. And I pray that you guys receive that same energy through these readings. And I just thank you guys, just from the depth of my soul. Thank you. Okay? And I hope that this reading served you all well. If you feel comfortable enough, please share what resonated with you in the comments down below. You never know what your inspiration or your connection might share or shed light on for others that might watch this reading. I thank you to everybody who showed love here in the chat. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Aurora, for being here. Thank you, Mise Meep, as well. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I love you all so very much. Okay, and I hope to see you all in the next one. And again, enjoy this new moon energy. I'm sending my heart out to y'all, supporting y'all through navigating this. All right, and remember to take some time to truly reflect and take a quiet moment, or as many quiet moments as you need to listen into your heart now that it's been broken open and hear what it truly has to say to you. I think you will be surprised at how much your higher self loves you, High Priestess and the Ace of Cups, how much your lower self loves you, how much the divine and source loves you. Okay, and I pray that that love continues to grow within you every single day. All right, y'all? I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, namaste.